So Backroads, do you remember when Alex Pettyfer came on the show when Stormbreaker was first out? I think he came on with Anthony Horowitz, is that
Yes,
right?
I think
They
that's
they
probably
must have
right.
started Stormbreaker. Okay, and the film wasn't, it wasn't great and it wasn't sort of particularly well received. But since then, he's had a kind of up and down career. He's been in things like Magic Mike, which was a hit, not in the sequel. He was in the remake of Endless Love, which wasn't. Now, so Alex Pettyfer has now turned to directing with Backroads, which is this kind of broiling psychodrama from a novel by Tawny Adele, who also co-wrote the screenplay. And Alex Pettyfer is Harley. It's set in rural Pennsylvania. I think it's shot in Louisiana. So he is Harley, who is this troubled soul who was going to after college, but then didn't because his mother, played by Juliette Lewis, with typical understatement, has killed their abusive father. And so he has found himself at home looking after his three sisters, one of whom is young and okay, one of whom is young teenager and seems slightly troubled, and one of whom is this 16-year-old firebrand, Amber, played by Nicola Peltz at full pelts, as it turns out. And he
Uh-huh.
has thank you. And it's a tough life. He does a lot of suffering, and the toughness is made worse by the fact that he's fallen in love with an older married woman, but he can't escape the kind of labyrinthine, incestuous psychological ties of his really, really tormented family. Here's a clip of him and the object of his affection, who, as I said, is someone with whom he finds himself. I think torn is a nice way of putting it. Here's a clip.
Gotta get them home. I'm sorry for the way that I left. Sorry for everything, really. I'm not saying it wasn't great. Just maybe it shouldn't have happened. You were so upset. I just wanted to help. I guess there's better ways to help a person. Or maybe not.
It's okay.
Yeah, he's not greatly given to speechifying, as you can hear from that. So the interesting thing about this was that Adrian Lyne shares co-writing credit. Adrian Lyne is the director of Fatal Attraction. This was originally developed for Adrian Lyne. In fact, I think I'm right in saying that Lyne was originally going to direct it with Pettyfer starring in it. Now Pettyfer has ended up directing it from Adrian Lyne's script. And it's interesting to imagine what it is that Adrian Lyne, who is much more kind of, mainstream gloss kind of movie director, what he would have made of it. The film that we have now is, I mean, if on the positive side, it has a sense of place and a sense of location, and it has a kind of broiling, American Gothic doom to it. There's a lot of kind of intense, repressed, sometimes not very repressed, emotional stuff going on in it. And Alex Pettyfer walks through the whole thing with the look of a man who is carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. And it does do that. I mean, it's a perfectly decent directing job. The problem is that the story and consequently the script is so overcooked, so overwrought, so no plot twist left unexplored. That by the time you get to the end, oh, really? And it sort of descends into something that actually almost becomes ridiculous. So I think the best to say about it is a decent directing job of a ridiculously overcooked, overripe melodramatic drama that has, the performances are fine. The best thing about it is the sense of location, the sense of place, the sense of, again, characters caught in a trap that they can't get out of. But it's it is at very best fine. But honestly, I did find myself at the end going, really, really. So it's the problem for me lies with the script. It's just, it's
Okay.
just like, how much more overwrought could this be? And the answer is none more overwrought.
Because after many, many months of being locked in the same house, what people want to watch is a movie with intense, repressed emotion.
That's
So,
what I know exactly. Yeah.
so I'm not quite sure.